I take responsibility for my results, like radical responsibility. And I do not blame anyone for the results that I'm seeing. Because, again, blame takes up a lot of energy and a lot of space, when that energy could in turn just be used to figure out what the lesson is and see where I can be different or do different or take a different action or do something differently to get a different result. I really don't see a lot of value in blaming other people for my results, for my circumstances, for what's happening to me. Welcome to the Biz Builders podcast, where we believe building the business of your dreams can change your life. I'm your host, Sandy Patterson, former teacher turned certified life and business coach. After 14 years of teaching, I took a huge leap, left my job, and built 2 successful businesses with no business or sales background. Now I'm living the life of my dreams, and I'm ready to help you do the same. You're in the right spot here if you're ready to dig into not only the strategy of business building, but also the belief in yourself that building a business is possible. You're made for this, and you've got exactly what it takes to create the financial, time, and location freedom you're craving. Over here, we value progress over perfection. We embrace being uncomfortable, and we believe that anything, literally anything you want, is possible for you with the right strategy, mindset, and support. You'll also hear inspiring stories here and, of course, failures of women who are doing the same thing. The whole idea is if she can do it, so can I. Thanks for being here. Let's dive in. Hello, pretty ladies. Welcome back to another episode of the Biz Builders podcast. As always, I'm so happy that you're here. I'm still getting used to saying the new title of the podcast because we just recently, a couple weeks ago, changed it. So I'm getting used to saying, well, welcome to the Biz Builders podcast, but it's all good. And I'm so excited for this new vibe, this just let's go get it, let's go after it, business building mindset, all the good things. So welcome here. I'm so happy you're here, like I always am. I am super excited today to share about this topic. And this is a question that I get asked all the time. And it's something that I've gotten asked for pretty much my whole entire adult life. And I was like, this probably deserves an episode because I get asked this all the time. So the question that I get asked pretty much like every day almost is, oh my gosh, Sandy, how do you have so much energy? Like, how are you always so like happy and positive? I had a client the other day tell me that I reminded her of Joy from Inside Out, which I was like, this is like a huge compliment to me. Like, are you kidding me? Like, thank you so much. But so much so that like, I've even had people tell me before in the past, when they first meet me, they'll tell me after a while, they'll be like, yeah, when I first met you, I thought that you were really fake. Like, I didn't believe that somebody could be so happy, so positive, like just so energetic. And it used to bother me when people would say that, but now I'm just like, I really don't care at all what people say. It is who I am. I am who I am. This is me. And I'm just embracing that. And I want to share though, as I was thinking about this, because I get asked this question so often, I'm like, gosh, there have to be like some things that I'm actively doing, like to have so much energy, to have such a positive mindset, and to be so energetic. And so I sat down and I started to kind of reflect on this, and I made a list. And initially the list had 3 things on it. Like, these are 3 things that I can identify that I do consistently every day in and out, excuse me, in order to have so much energy. But then as I was like thinking and the list ended up being, there's like 7 or 8 things on this list. So I don't even know how many like I'm actually going to share today or how many, and they all kind of overlap a little bit. So you'll see, but I'm excited to have this conversation. And these are all things too that you can do. And I'm not saying that you have to be me. Like, I am not saying that you have to be positive or happy or in a good mood all the time. Absolutely not. I am not positive. I am not happy. I am not in a good mood all the time. But the majority of the time, I am. So, and what that leads to is just like a really happy person, me. I'm just a really, really happy person. I love my life. I love living my life. I love the people around me. And I hope that that just shines through in everything that I do. And so these are things that you can also do if you want to feel a little more energized, a little more happy, a little more positive. And of course, on the podcast here, we're talking about business, but we also always talk about mindset, because mindset is really, I believe, the underlying key to success in any business or anything new really that you're going to set out and do, or that you're already doing and you just want to get better at. So yeah, let's dive in. So the first thing that I do, I had a client the other day ask me, like, how do you have so much energy? How are you so positive? And I'm like, okay, here's the first thing. This is what I initially told her, because this is the first thing that that came to my mind. And it is that I forgive. I'm really, really quick to forgive things and let things go. Because what I've found over time, as we do, is like shitty things happen in life, right? Like shitty situations, shitty people, just shitty circumstances, whatever, stuff happens. But I'm really, really, really good about letting things go and not holding on to things that are not mine or things that do not serve me. So if there is a situation, if there is something that I am irritated about, if there is somebody that makes me upset or angry or mad, I really do a really good job of letting it go, because I've had so many instances where I have pissed people off, I've annoyed people, I've made mistakes and done the wrong things. And I think back to the people in those situations where I've messed up and they've shown me so much grace and so much like love, that I try to do the same thing. And what ends up happening is that when we don't forgive, when we hold on to things, guess what? That takes up a lot of our energy. That takes up energy every day. And I don't want my days to be filled with that energy of like heaving these feelings around just for the sake of carrying them around and being mad or being upset or being irritated. Like, no, thank you. I'm going to move on. I'm going to let it go. And I really because of this, because it's like because I can't talk, because I let go of things really easily, it's really difficult now, like, to actually irritate me and to like get under my skin. I'm a pretty like chill person, and I feel like I do a really good job of just like letting things that are not mine go. Like, I don't take on other people's energy that is negative. I don't spend time with people that I know are not aligned with me and my energy and that serve me. So yeah, number one is I'm really good at forgiving and letting shit go. Like, let it go. Okay, so that's number one. Like I said, all of these are kind of going to overlap, and they kind of all like bleed into each other, but that kind of makes sense when you hear these next ones. So number two is I take responsibility for my results, like radical responsibility. And I do not blame anyone for the results that I'm seeing, because again, blame takes up a lot of energy and a lot of space, when that energy could in turn just be used to figure out what the lesson is and see where I can be different or do different or take a different action or do something differently to get a different result. I really don't see a lot of value in blaming other people for my results, for my circumstances, for what's happening to me. And I think that we live in a society where it is very common and it's very, very easy to be in victim mode. We look outward to essentially blame other people, other circumstances, other situations, other things for why we are having a hard time, or why something went wrong, or why I'm not seeing the result that I want to see, or that's just kind of how it is. Like, no, I literally take responsibility for everything in my life and every result that I'm seeing. And this goes in business, this goes in relationships, this goes pretty much everything. And I'll give you some examples. So as far as business goes, this was a while, like this was a long time ago when I first launched my coaching business. So the result that I was seeing is that I was attracting clients who were kind of like half in, half out. They weren't like all the way in, right? Like they weren't like 100% like they are now. Like the people that I attract now are very much like all in, let's go, let's do this, let's kick some ass, let's make this happen, let's go, let's go. But I realized like instead of like sitting back and being like, oh, poor me, like why am I attracting all these clients that are half in, half out, or that I have to like talk into working with me, or that I have to talk into like following through on what they said they were going to do, boo-hoo, like woe is me. No, I'm like, okay, there's something going on here where I'm doing something to attract these type of clients, and let me look internally to see where I can do better. And where also, like, if that's what I'm seeing, it's the law of reflection, right? Like, if that's what I'm seeing happening, where am I being half in, half out? Where am I to myself half in, half out in regards to my ability to lead someone, in regards to my business, in regards to my confidence, like all of these things. And sure enough, you bet your ass, like when I start to recognize and pull those things up internally, like I take responsibility for these things, that's when things start to shift externally. So I take responsibility for my results. Like it's me. Like if I see something in my life that I don't like, a result that I don't like, or in my business that I don't like, I immediately turn inward and I'm like, how can you take responsibility for this? What is it that you are doing in order to produce that result, and how can you be different? So I don't blame, I take responsibility for my results. So that is number 2. Okay, number 3 is I take really good care of my body, or I think I do. I mean, I take pretty good care of my body. Yeah, I do. And I think that this plays into me as far as the energy part, right? Like, how do you have so much energy? And as many of you know, like I'm a bar instructor, so I teach bar. I love teaching bar. I teach a 6 a.m. class weekday mornings. I take class just as often as I teach class. And I am like probably one of the very few people that does not drink coffee on this planet. Like I literally just wake up with a lot of energy. And I think it's because this was before COVID. So this is probably 2019. I committed to myself, and I committed to spending time every day to do things that make me feel good physically, and to move my body every day. And since then, like it's been since 2019, so 5 years ago, like I really haven't looked back. And I don't do it because I feel like I have to. I do it because it really just makes me feel good. But I specifically remember there being a big shift in the way that I had to think about this, because at that time, my boys were young. They were like 3 and 5 at the time. And so they were like needy. They like needed me all the time, but I had to like say like, no, this is what's coming first. I had to put myself first and my needs first. And I knew that if, again, I wanted to see results and I wanted to feel better and I wanted to have more energy, then I was just going to have to put the time in, and I was going to have to squash that mom guilt of like doing something for me for 30 minutes every day or for an hour every day. And now it's just habit. Like now my family is used to it. I'm used to it. Like it's just something that I do. And I think that it really plays a role in the way that I feel every day, because I take really good care of my body. I move my body every day. I move it in a way that makes me feel really good. I push myself really hard when I'm there. And I just enjoy it. Like it's something that I do. So number 3 is taking care of my body, and that energizes me. And I also realize too, like when I don't take care of my body, I realize that my mindset and my feelings and my emotions and my thoughts, they go south real quick. Like I can tell, and my family can tell, ask my husband, he can tell like by the end of the day, he's like, did you work out today? Like what's happening? You're in a really bad mood. And I'm like, no, I didn't work out. I should have. So yeah, I think that plays a big role in my energy. Okay. Number 4, let me see here. Number 4 is everything that I do. I'm very intentional about everything that I do. And I make sure, well, as much as I can, I make sure that everything I do energizes me. So I took in a couple months ago, I guess it was March in 2024, of this year, I was like, you know what? I'm getting sick and tired of doing things that I don't want to do. Like, it's just draining me. Like, it's draining my energy. I don't want to do it anymore. And there were certain things that I didn't want to do anymore. And this was kind of a long time coming, because those of you that know, like, I left my job back in 2021. That was something that wasn't energizing me anymore. Left that, and then I get into business, and then I'm doing things in business that are not energizing me anymore. I got rid of those things, and then in March of 2024, I was like, you know what? I'm taking this energy, I'm taking this vibe, and I'm not going to do anything that doesn't energize me anymore. And so I had a post-it on my desk, and it said, do not do anything that you do not want to do. And so I literally didn't do anything I didn't want to do. And when I say I didn't do anything I didn't want to do, this doesn't mean, like, of course there are things throughout our day that we're going to have to do that we don't necessarily like, yay, yippee, want to do. But I just got really intentional at the things that I had a choice in doing, that I would say, no, thank you, to the things that I knew weren't going to energize me. And you know this feeling, like you commit to something, you commit to a birthday party or a happy hour or a play date or I don't know. Just you commit to these things and you think at the time like, oh yeah, that'll be so fun. And then the time comes and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I hadn't have said yes to this. And then you feel like you're stuck doing it. I hear this all the time from clients. I'm like, what are your plans this weekend? And they go, oh gosh, I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to go here. And it's like, well, there's your whole entire weekend. Like, that's a bummer that you're spending it doing all these things that you don't even really want to do and that don't like light you up. So I in that month in March, I like stopped. I was like, okay, if I have a choice, I'm going to like politely, and I wasn't mean about it, of course, I just politely declined. And what I learned from that month was that like nothing fell apart. I didn't lose any friends. Like, nobody was mad at me. It didn't really matter. And I was so much more energized. Like, I just had space and time to think and breathe. And we even started implementing, this was probably before March of 2024, but we started in our family implementing, we call them Go Nowhere Sundays. And so on Sunday, we like don't go anywhere. The car doesn't leave the driveway. We keep our pajamas on all day if we want to, and we just chill at home. And it's like, it's so fun. It's the best thing. And so now everybody around me also knows, like, if they ask me, can you do this on Sunday? Or can you come to this on Sunday? Or can you whatever on Sunday? I'm like, oh no, sorry, it's Go Nowhere Sunday. Like, we don't go anywhere. Like, everybody's used to it now. And it's just a chance for us to reset and just relax and just do stuff that we want to do at home, because you guys know life is so freaking busy. Like, we're running around all the time. So it's been really, really nice to just have this time to like chill. And if there's something that comes up on a Sunday that I really want to do, I say yes and we make it happen. It's like, this is all so flexible and so fluid, but it's really, I think, a part of why, again, I'm so positive, I'm so happy, I'm so energized, I have so much energy, is because I have space to just be and to not feel like I'm running around all the damn time, right? So that is number 4, I think that was 4. So then number 5, okay, this is funny, and I've said this like a lot for a long, long time. Like this, I've said this like as long as I can remember. Like, I really think that I'm the luckiest girl in the world. And when I say that, I mean, like, I truly believe that things always work out for me. I don't know exactly why I think this. Well, actually I do. I do know why, because they always actually do work out. And I naturally have always gravitated towards things are going to work out versus like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awful. And this is like, this isn't just in business. This is like with like everything in my life. It's like little things, like a parking spot. I'm always like, I'm going to get a parking spot. I'm going to get the best parking spot. And I always do. I always do, because I believe I'm going to. This is so funny. I'm like delusional sometimes about how lucky I am and how good things work out for me. And they always freaking do. They always do. Last winter, our family had planned a trip to Disneyland for the day. So we have Disneyland passes because we live in Southern California. So we have this planned out, and the morning of this trip, well, even the day, like the weeks before, there's rain forecasted in the weather forecast. So it's like supposed to this torrential downpour that's supposed to happen on this day that we're supposed to go to Disneyland. And the entire time leading up to Disneyland, I'm just like, oh, it's not going to rain. Like, it's not going to rain. That's not going to happen. Like, we're going to have so much fun. It's not going to rain. Like, I'm not even worried about it, whatever. The day before, everything says it's going to pour tomorrow. It's going to pour. It's going to be pouring rain. And I'm still just like, no, it's going to be fine. Like, we're going to be just fine. It's going to be so fun. It's not going to rain. And so we literally get in the car at in the morning, and it's pouring rain, like pouring rain, like not just like sprinkling. It's like downpour rain. And even on the car ride up there, I'm so delusional that I'm like, oh no, like it's going to be fine. When we get there, like it's going to stop raining when we get there. Meanwhile, it shows on my weather app, like rain all day, like all day, the entire day, rain, rain, rain. So we get there and it's raining, and I could have very easily just been like, oh, this sucks. Like, how awful. We ended up having the best time we've ever had in that torrential downpour at Disneyland. Like, the place was empty. We were all soaking wet, and we had a blast, like a blast. We still look back at that trip to Disneyland and we're like, how much fun was that? And I think it's because I believe that everything's always going to work out, and I believe that I am the luckiest girl in the world. It has nothing to do with the outside circumstances, and everything to do with my internal beliefs that everything's always going to work out. And in that case, in that story, it's like I knew we were going to have fun. There wasn't any there was no doubt or worry about anything. We just went for it, and we did. We had a really, really good time. And I think that's a perfect example of how I come at everything in my life. Oh yeah, everything's going to work out. And that's not to say that sometimes there's doubt and fear and all of those things, but I allow this belief that everything's going to work out and that I am the luckiest girl in the world and that I always get what I want. I allow that to be very prevalent in my days, prevalent in my life. And it is what it is. I always get what I want. I always tell my husband that, and he laughs, but he's like, no, you really do. And I'm like, I know, because I believe that I'm going to always get exactly what I want. And I don't say that in a conceited or a mean or way, I always get what I want. I work hard and I always get what I want. I do. Okay. And then I'm losing track of the numbers here, but I think this is number 6. So I am also really good. I have this superpower to see the lesson in everything. I can see a really, really crappy situation, and I can see the lesson in it. I can very, very quickly. And I do this with my clients quite a bit. So my clients will come to me and there's a hiccup in the plan, or something didn't work out how they wanted to, or something flopped, or something went awry, or something went wrong, which happens, right? That happens in life. It happens in our businesses. It's fine. But I'm really good about being okay, perfect. You get a minute here to be sad and to complain and be in victim mode and, wah, this sucked. But then let's move out of that. And what was the lesson here? Let's look at what you can learn from this and what you're going to take with you into this next day or this next week or this next month or whatever it is. I can see the lesson. So crappy things happen all the time, again, but it's really it's data. It's information for me to take in and be what needs to shift here? What needs to change, both in actions, in the strategy, and also in the belief part of it? What do I need to start believing in order to change? And what do we need to do differently? How can I show up differently in order to not let this happen again, right? Because when we see the same patterns repeating, it's just a lesson that we need to learn. And once we learn the lesson, then we get to move on to the next, the next pattern or the next, thing that we need to learn. So I'm really good at seeing the lesson in everything. And the last thing I have written down here, I think this is, literally losing track of all the numbers here, but the last one is I always assume the best in people. And this is a hard one. I think, again, especially because of the society that we live in, it's easy to feel like everyone's out to get us. It's easy to feel like people wake up and put their feet on the floor and then they're out to piss us off that day. It's easy to feel essentially like a victim and to blame people. And this, again, goes back to like forgiving and not blaming, other people, taking responsibility for your results. So I have always assumed the best in people, and that anytime anything happens, whether good or bad, there is some sort of intention behind it that is ultimately good. So I don't think that people do anything on purpose, like just to be malicious. I mean, maybe there's like psychopaths or whatever out there that maybe do that, but like in general, for the most part, like I think people are generally and genuinely good, right? So I'll give you a couple examples of this. If you taught during COVID, I taught kindergarten during COVID, which was a total shit show. And, we had to do Zoom teaching, and then we had to do that like thing where there were some kids in the classroom and some kids on Zoom, and we had to include all of them. And it was just like a hot mess. And then it was just a mess. So anyways, it was really easy during that time to like blame people and like feel like, oh, like these kids are not showing up on Zoom, or, oh, these parents are not like doing what they need to do to get their kid, doing what they need to do. And I heard a lot like during that time, and I'm sure I was probably guilty of it too, but we did a lot of complaining about how hard things were, complaining about how unfair things were, complaining about how, all the things, all those stupid things, right? And I would always be like, you know what, I'm just going to go into my day and I'm going to assume that everyone, that's administration, that's colleagues, that's parents, that's students, that's everyone that I come across, I'm going to automatically assume that they're doing the best with what they have in that moment. And that's it. Like that took so much pressure off, and it took so much like of that anger, that like pent up like frustration and anger out of the equation. So I could really just focus on what do we have here and how can we make the best of this? And that's how I am with everything in life, right? Another example of this, we were visiting Montana with my dad. We're visiting my dad in Montana over the summer, and we were having a conversation, him and my stepmom, and my dad like brings up like, oh gosh, I was like a terrible dad when you were growing up. I was terrible. Like I look back and I was awful. Like I can't believe like I didn't mess you up more, and saying all these like things that are not, whatever. And I just look at him and I'm like, okay, but let's like look back here. I'm going to assume that you did the best that you could with what you had in that moment and with also what you knew in that moment. Is that correct? And he's just like, yeah, I guess you're right. Like that is correct. I'm like, well, then there's no reason to like blame or look back. Like, and I don't blame you for anything. Like it is what it is. And there were, again, all of those lessons embedded throughout life here that we're just picking up and putting in our toolboxes so we can just continue to be better. Cause that's what it's all about, right? That's seriously what this space is all about, is just becoming better, becoming a little bit better and doing better. And so you can see how everything here really overlaps, like forgiving, not blaming, taking responsibility, assuming the best in people, taking care of ourselves and showing up in the best way that we know possible, both physically and in that mindset, and believing that everything is going to work out and that we're amazing, right? That's really what it's all about. And those things put together are why I have so much energy. It's why I love my life so much. It's why I'm so positive, so much so that I know my positivity pisses people off sometimes. But again, I'm just like, I'm not holding on to that. That's not my energy. Like you can be mad at me all day, but it doesn't change my day. It doesn't change how I'm going to go through life. It's just a reflection on you. Like that's on you. And I can help you get out of that if you are willing and ready to take responsibility. But that's essentially, it's who I am at my core, and it's what I continue to refine. And of course, these things are things that sometimes I have to remind myself of. And I get in funks, I get in bad moods, I get irritated, I yell at my kids, I do all these things that I'm not like happy about. I get, it's all good though, because I know the majority of the time I'm a really positive person. And so my whole thing is just to share these things with you in hopes that maybe you picked up something in this episode that you're like, oh, that's a really, really good point. I'm going to try that out and I'm going to see how it feels, because it's all about feeling good and doing the things that we love, building the businesses that we love so that we can live lives that we absolutely love, that we're excited to wake up every day and we're just so stoked about, and feeling like we are literally the luckiest girls in the world. So I hope this was helpful for you today. I would love to hear what resonates with you, or if this resonated with you, or if you're just like, Sandy, you're so annoying, you're so positive. That's cool too. It's all good. But hop on over to Instagram, share with me, shoot me a DM, share what resonated with you or what you're going to try. I would love to hear. And I will see you guys back here next week, same time, same place. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay, love you. Bye. Thanks for listening, you guys. If you're ready to get your business going and making money and to step into that next level version of you, I would love to support you make that happen through strategy, mindset work, and my Cut the BS style coaching, because it's always better, quicker, and more fun to have someone who's already been through it support you. Shoot me a message over on Instagram with the word ready, and we can chat and get your questions answered about coaching and how I can support you. I cannot wait to hear from you.